Hi everybody, I have a brand new update for my Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan film series. I decided to do it, do these videos a little bit in my room because doing it in the living room at this time of year with the vent blowing so hard, can't hardly hear anything, so I decided to do it in here. I have an update real quick about my fan film content for my Power Rangers stuff because I know that at this rate I don't think people care about it anymore as I'm like starting to lose hair. I'm getting old and stuff. I know I'm less than 2 months away from turning the big 30, but right now I'm at the script. I'm working on the script while I'm shooting because I took 6 months to write a script for the movie, which I already showed before in the last video update. And so far, it's just only the first 2 of 4 acts of the script written, because this is going, I don't know how much I'll shoot because I should have had done the fan film earlier before this point and before I get so close to the next decade of life. And I was basically procrastinating with other factors, but that's something I have to keep to myself until a much later vlog or so. But I was already in the middle of filming right now. I just only filmed a few things, just basically like the basic stuff, like the Rangers morph sequences and some stuff with the Megazords, but I still keep showing my hands and stuff. I'm working on getting some blue screen and green screen gloves so that way I can stop showing my bare naked hands when holding the toys and stuff all the time, and probably potentially do some stop motion. But I know I'm not likely going stick to my word with that part with the stop motion stuff with the toys. For a lot of you who don't know, for the fact that I've been doing this fan film content for 10 years as of this channel, but 12 years for those who haven't followed me since 2010, when everybody in the Power Rangers fan base were focusing on the real world stuff, with the TV show and Sentai and whatever else going on in the real world, in the world of Power Rangers and Super Sentai. I was the guy that started that fan film stuff of Power Rangers with that Rise of Terrana stuff, which I don't know, for some reason people called out a hoax on Ranger Board sometime 2 years later. But then I did Power Rangers Lost Galaxy 2014, but that was somewhat, however, a success in views, but the reception for the fan film was severely negative. Power Rangers Lost Galaxy The Wrath of Terrana, well, basically that 3-hour bogus as heck sequel I did, I should have had never, ever made a 3-hour movie like that. Like I said back in that video a couple days ago, if I had done the movie. And then now on to 2 of my Power Rangers fan films, and I keep forgetting Terrana, the Insectile Queen of Darkness, exist on my channel, but even though I did do it, but not many people gave it much fanfare, just because it was a villain spin-off. What's been going on with my fan film content of Power Rangers by myself, since I'm just only one guy, I don't have an extra pair of hands. Like I said, I had started filming, but I won't start main stuff until when I have more of these 12-inch custom action figures of the Rangers from Marvel Legends and some of these Spin Master DC figures. But the thing I noticed about when comparing the 12-inch figures from Marvel versus like something Spin Master had for their DC 12-inch action figures, because the blue, red, and green Ranger figures are basically the Titan Hero. Pink and yellow is the Spin Master Marvel stuff, but I can tell the paint work is not all that great. And given the amount of tape and paint that I did on these figures, and they just look rather ugly. I need to work on them better before I start filming. I've been doing paper dolls, for the fact that a lot of people didn't like the fan films that I did with those puppets for years. I decided to transition from paper dolls to something like this now. Yeah, paper dolls, looking back, and I can see where the criticism lied from those who said some negative comments about me about that years ago. How the paper doll stuff was weighing the fan films down, and weighing me down too, because I realized, playing with those for so long was holding me back from what I was supposed to actually do if I should have done a fan film of Power Rangers with actual live action actors, which I couldn't even do, because most majority of people locally living where I live don't really care about Power Rangers like I do passionately. Because if I was to do some sort of a MMPR fan project, like a lot of Power Ranger fans on the internet have been doing, I could have been in part of that bandwagon. But I decided to do a bandwagon, be that one man bandwagon. But eventually, like I said in that video, someone in the next couple years did a proper, better Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan made movie than what I was doing. Then, like, so be it. The project is, well, it seems like I don't have much time now, since 2022 will be almost over. So I got to have a movie out before 2022 is up. Otherwise, like, I'm going to be like, pull the plug, put the Quasar Saber I pulled out since 2012 when I opened this channel up, and just put that saber down and into the rock, and then retire from this stuff. But I still want to keep on going on with it, though, because I know a lot of people don't know that I was that guy with the puppets and stuff like that, because not many people really, gave me the time of day for me to do, or actually, the care to see that I'm just doing this as a homemade movie. And like I said before, I have no intentions on doing a fan film of Power Rangers that's crowdfunded, because that's not my thing. I don't want to look forward to getting any legal problems, like copyright problems, like a lot of some fan films had in the past. I'd rather do this as a homemade fan film rather than, crowdfunded. That's what I've been trying to tell some people for the last decade, that for those who looked down on my stuff, even though it took me 9 to 10 years to get my act together with the stuff, because again, I was going through those mental issues, which I still have today, but I'm still trying to get out there and try to get noticed more. But again, it seemed like no one cared. So I'm going to try to do a fan film before 2022 is up, even though it's been 2 long years since the Big V, and I've been trying to get a fan film completed. So anyway, but Power Rangers Lost Galaxy 2022, production had already started since July 1st, but I won't do actual filming with those figures until probably the end of August, because, personal stuff with the money thing. And I still hope to get the film done before my 30th birthday in September, but right around the last couple days of August, and right around Power Morphicon weekend, August 26th to the 28th, Friday to Sunday, August the 26th to the 28th, like I said. And because August 28th is Power Rangers Day, and I hope I get the film done before that date, or right around the date until the end of August 28th, and then starting August 29th, the film is finished. And like I said in that video talking about Wrath of Trakina being a failure, I will no longer do any trailers for the fan film. I just want to put updates, but I know that not many people are going to be, I just don't want to keep people's excitement level for this too much, because it's just one guy's homemade Power Ranger fan film. If I was doing it with a bunch of people in cosplay, and I was, I had a group of people like I was supposed to, if I wanted to do a real fan film instead of that BS I was doing for so long, then what was the point of still keep doing the BS I was doing? And I would have gotten somewhere by now, and I would have gotten my act together and stopped the BS I was going through personally off camera. So yeah, I plan on just deciding to, since I was already having problems with the script, because for a lot of people who didn't know about the project, this fan film of Power Rangers Lost Galaxy is a rather more adult PRLG movie, because that stuff I was doing in the 2010s, that was just me acting silly-nilly, and I was also going through mental problems, and with the limitations I had with the camcorder stuff, shot in front of a video computer TV screen with the video game stuff on the PlayStation, but at least I have actual game capture stuff ready. But I'm trying to figure out how to splice the game capture with my footage with this very camera, this Panasonic camera that I've been using for 7 years now, since 2015. And I was going to plan before I started filming, but I was happy, but since the pandemic was, it was such an environmental factor that really heavily affected me in this content greatly, to the point I couldn't be able to finish up my other movie. And that's why I decided to pivot to this film. Now, as for Power Rangers Lost Galaxy Infinite Frontier, I swear I swear to God, if I repeated history like I did when I started this channel 10 years ago, saying is Infinite Frontier canceled? If I say the movie is that movie is canceled, it's not coming out because I had 3 years to get it done, but I was once again going through stuff. I can't tell you because I know people are going to be curious what happened to Infinite Frontier. Why has it never been finished? Why it didn't come out? But yet there's still that teaser trailer from 2 years ago. Well, okay. I started Power Rangers Lost Galaxy Infinite Frontier right immediately after I finished filming Terrana, the Insectile Queen of Darkness. Although that film finally made it. But although there was no fanfare because I guess nobody wanted to see a female villain Power Ranger movie spinoff. So I knew that because given the political climate we were in with the strong female empowerment and all that. And I wanted to do a fan film spinoff of Terrana as a last minute thing because I wanted to close out the decade of the 2010s with me and my Power Ranger stuff. Even though I spent all decade on Terrana in the brain and Lost Galaxy in the brain and the nostalgia for it in the brain. Because people should know that Lost Galaxy is my favorite Power Ranger season, much like anybody's. But I guess turns out the films I've been making of Lost Galaxy was not the Power Rangers Lost Galaxy people wanted from me and to you all that liked Lost Galaxy as kids like I was growing up. And those films I've been making, Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, The Rise of Terrana, 2014 Wrath of Terrana, and Infinite Frontier, those were just self-insert projects, a PRLG I was doing, and turns out I was not doing a PRLG film that actually had all of the legacy characters. I have a few OC characters here and there, but just don't have them take up much screen time from the legacy characters that we know and love. Because the fan films of Power Rangers Lost Galaxy I've been doing ever since I started this channel and 2 years before I started this channel, back as early as September 2010. With Rise of Terrana, even though Ranger Board kept saying it was a hoax. I'm going to debunk what Ranger Board and what someone posted on there about Rise of Terrana being a hoax. Rise of Terrana, the one that I did, the version of it I did in 2010 until 2012 was not a hoax. It wasn't working out. That originally produced version of Rise of Terrana, back when I was still dumb and young and naive, when I was 18 to 21, that was just me being foolish, and I didn't know nothing about making movies back then. I was trying something back then, okay? So why lob at me for that? And even though, I realized that my actions on certain places in the Power Rangers fandom online, on wikis and stuff, well, that's why I was beating myself over those things. But anyway, Infinite Frontier is going to take another long while to be finished. So I'm going to probably remove the teaser trailer for Infinite Frontier and replace it with a somewhat teaser trailer for this movie. And that'll be that, to let people know that this one is being worked on, and the other movie that I started since 3 years ago is not canceled. It's just I have been having problems getting it finished. But I was also hesitant because of COVID, COVID-19, and then all the other fears of things. And then I was also going through stuff back in 2020 and something related to another franchise I was into, and a certain pro athlete and what he did on TV that set me off and made me go crazy off camera, and stuff like that. But Power Rangers Lost Galaxy Infinite Frontier is not canceled. I don't want to say it's canceled theoretically, because I don't want people thinking it's never coming out. It's never going to happen. It's just I need to take some time off from that movie, and I was doing other things, of course, and I know that all that other stuff I was doing during the last 2 years of we all being in the pandemic, and me included. The pandemic is never going to end anytime soon, so I just gotta get this over with before I turn the big 30 in the next less than 2 months now, since almost a month away until I am 30. My birthday is again September 5th. You may think I'm not turning 30. I actually am, because when I started this channel, I was still skinny. My face was what it was. If you go back to some of my old stuff from 2012 and 2013 and stuff, I was still bald headed. But look at me now. I've aged. I'm not that same Anthony Marks Jr. I was when I started this channel, basically trolling and stuff anymore, because I was, in fact, was going through things when I was doing those films, and that's what affected the movies to suck, because I wasn't mentally mature to do a fan film, because I was still acting like I was still my 18-year-old self when I did Rise of Terrana in high school. Because, but even though high school was a long time ago, even though this year is the 15th anniversary since I went to Gaithersburg High School, and this year had been now 11 years since I graduated. 12 years if you count when I did started that fan film thing of Power Rangers. But although I wasn't getting nowhere and I didn't know nothing, but look at me now compared to who I was back 12 years ago to where I am 12 years later today. You know, I was also in all that anxiety of turning 30. If I didn't make it before, if I didn't make doing a movie, if I don't make this movie before I turn 30, people will say it's too late for you. I'm too late. And maybe I would probably move on to other hobbies after. Not like I've been saying, not like I want to retire making this content and do other content on this channel or a new one, because I was going through problems. But again, I still have the movie on hiatus. I just that fan film, The Power Rangers, on hiatus because I wanted to put an end to that OC Gary Stu Marshverse driven PRLG that I've been doing since 2014. Because my heart is on to the Power Rangers Lost Galaxy movie I'm making now, because I feel like it's time I finally did Leo, Kendricks, Maya, Damon, and Kai, which I should have done a decade ago, because they are the Galaxy Power Rangers canonically, but borrowing those characters for a fan film. But I know people tell me it's too late to do that. I should have done that when I was like 22 years old in 2014. Or I should have done it when I did Wrath of Terrana in 2016 to 2017, when I was 24 to 26 years old or something. But I messed up because I was doing a bunch of, if you go back to my channel and, for those new to my channel, I am the guy that did those fan films of Power Rangers, Lost Galaxy, and the ones with the paper puppets, the ones that nobody cared about, and after I was bamboozled with a bunch of online harassment from some Power Ranger fans about the paper doll stuff years back, and why I kind of started thinking about doing action figures and other means now, because it was time I moved on from the paper dolls to something more like those custom-made action figures, although they're not perfect, but I'll run with it. So Infinite Frontier is not canceled. It's just I'm taking a long time trying to get those Megazords from Q Ranger, or I'll probably, like, if Q Ranger, like I said, does get confirmed to be the 30th anniversary Power Ranger season by Hasbro in the form of Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, then I'll just stop considering hybriding Lost Galaxy with that other Sentai that's decades later after its Sentai, Lost Galaxy's counterpart with Lost Galaxy itself, for my Marshverse Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan film trilogy. I have a feeling that I'm going to have to push the fan film back 2 more years but by then, by 2024, I'll be like 31, pushing 32 in the next 2 years. Because if I'm not going to finish the fan film by the end of 2022, then I'll push it back another year or a year after that. Because, like I said, I'm tired of pretending to be a Hollywood producer when the film should come out and what's the release date. I have to, do the shit before I think about release dates. Because I have to work on something until once it's finished, then I'll tell people when it will come out. Because I can't keep announcing something if it's not finished or hasn't been worked on, because I'm doing stuff personally at home or whatever. So yeah, guys, this is my update for the films. Power Rangers Lost Galaxy Infinite Frontier is not canceled. It's just on hiatus still, and I still haven't got those Megazords from Q Ranger by Bandai Japan. currently working on Power Rangers Lost in Galaxy 2022, but if 2022 fails, I feel like after 10 years running this channel, of all the bullshit I posted on this channel, with little of what this channel was supposed to be about and what caused my channel to die, then I feel like it's time I hung up that Quasar Saber I pulled out when I started this thing and put it back in the rock and just simply retire being a Power Ranger YouTube channel and fan filmmaker. So that's it, everybody. I hope you guys understand what's going on with the films now, and even though I'm already working on one movie, putting the other one on hold because I felt like my heart was not in the right place all these years doing those OC-driven films, because I was not doing the PRLG that Power Ranger fans know, and particularly how I was doing Terrana for 12 years. But the Galaxy Rangers that we know canonically, like Kendricks and Maya and Leo, I hadn't done them in fan films because I was scared that people would not like the take on those classic characters that I was going to do for the 2014 generation and all that back then, because I wasn't thinking about those characters because I felt like I just want to leave certain things alone. And I know some people should have told me, leave Lost Galaxy alone, don't reboot it and all of that, because you know how people don't like reboots. And knowing fan films are just fan-made things, you know, if someone wants to do a fan-made reboot, but although some people are going, you know, but the people behind the actual stuff will be very overprotective of their rights. And I know that would explain why I did Terrana different, because I didn't want to do the Terrana that we know traditionally in Power Rangers that Amy Miller brought to life in Lost Galaxy 23 years ago. That's why I did a different take on her, because character rights reasons, potentially, probably. And that's why I did Terrana a totally different way. But the Rangers, that depends on how the actors who played those characters to life, brought those characters to life 23 years ago, would feel if I had imagined other people playing their characters in a fan project, since they don't know me personally. So yeah, guys, that's it. I'm sorry for rambling on, but I just think I said my piece here.